spend the day with me on a podcast recording day. I'm going to go through my morning routine and then I'll show you how I get ready for a podcast. Today's gonna be one of those days where my routine isn't like how I usually do it, which isn't ideal, but it's fine. I have a podcast recording a little bit later, but I also need to wash my hair and curl it, which takes forever. And I'm going to take a walk here in a little bit. So I'm gonna have to work out after I do the podcast recording. But I think right now before my walk, I'm gonna go ahead and peel and cut the vegetables I need for dinner. It's my turn to cook dinner tonight. I'm doing like a root vegetable hash with some ground bison. So I'm just gonna get those veggies out of the way. So I switched it up. I did part of my workout just now, showered. Now I'm gonna put some stuff in my hair, let that work a little bit before I start drying it, and then start getting ready for this podcast. This is a little something to help with heat exposure since I'm gonna be drying and curling it. And then this is just something, I think it's to help with moisture. I don't know, my friend Brett said to get it and she's got amazing hair, so I'm using it. All right, so while that is working and while my hair dries a little bit, air dries a little bit, I'm gonna set up for this podcast. I don't have an office. I have a very small 1-bedroom apartment, so I have to like transform my living room to my makeshift podcast studio. Makeup on. I'm not a huge makeup person, but I do like to wear it on my podcast. I don't know, gives me a little bit of more confidence, makes me feel better. I swear this last year and a half, my body and my skin and like everything has changed so much because of I'm going into perimenopause and menopause, and it's like any little thing I can do to make myself feel better, have a little bit more confidence, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's rocked my confidence. I'm gonna do it. So I wear a little bit of tinted moisturizer, a little bit of blush, like a gel blush, and then I just put some light like eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara, and go over my brows with like a little brow gel. That's pretty much it. And then right when I don't need it anymore, I wash it off, because I hate the feeling of any makeup, even if it's something light like tinted moisturizer being on my face. And I will change in a little bit. I'm not gonna wear this on my podcast. I do keep it pretty casual though. I don't dress up or anything, but I'm gonna wear white. I think I'm gonna wear a white long sleeve shirt, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I will spill something on it if I'm wearing white. So gotta wait till pretty much the last minute. I just realized my hair isn't curling the way I want it to, but I forgot to put in I usually put in a little bit of hairspray before I start curling it and totally forgot, so that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'm gonna have headphones on. I wanna put at least a little bit of effort in, you know? One thing with perimenopause this last year, I feel like I've lost, I wanna say half, but that's probably too much, but I don't know, 30% of my hair volume. And I know, like, I'm still grateful because I have a decent amount of hair left. I had a lot to start with, but it's just kind of hard when you're washing it and you don't feel as much, or I'll put it in braids and it's not as thick. You know, my braids are like half the size they used to be. So I'm using a shampoo now that supposedly helps not regrow hair, but prevent more hair loss. And then hopefully as my hormones improve, I'll stop losing hair too. My podcast guest today, her name's Rachel Wall. She is a hygienist, but her company is called Inspired Hygiene. And she trains, I'm gonna learn more about it today, but she trains hygiene teams to look at production, be more efficient, treats practices, how to incorporate improved hygiene systems into their office. But we connected over Instagram because she posted something about menopause. I can 100% relate to that right now. So we just started chatting and I asked her to be on my podcast, and we're gonna talk about her business, but also about our experiences with perimenopause and menopause, because I don't think it's talked about enough. And when you're not expecting these crazy changes that seem to happen overnight, you're like, what the hell is going on? There's so many changes other than, hot flashes. Yes, those are a thing, but there's a lot of other things that happen too that just isn't talked about enough. All right, so now I have to actually answer a couple time-sensitive emails real quick. I'm gonna go over my questions again that I want to talk with Rachel about, and then we'll get started with the podcast. I just got done with the podcast with Rachel. It went really good. I'm gonna have her on again because these podcasts go by really fast, and we were having such a great conversation about just kind of the state of dentists. It's almost like dentists versus hygienists right now, and why that is and what solutions are out there. It was just a really good conversation, and we didn't get to the things that we had planned. So she agreed to come back on in a couple months, and so we'll talk again then. Now I actually have to run out and do an errand that I totally forgot about. It won't take very long. And then I did an assessment yesterday, a virtual assessment, and today I need to start getting that report done. My assessments usually are about an hour, and then it takes me about an hour to make the report as well. I'm putting in all of their photos and notes and tips and all that stuff. So hopefully I'll get it done, but at least get it started. And that's something that I've learned now that, I don't practice clinically as much anymore. I'm kind of just doing my own thing, running my business. I used to be very start and finish with projects, I would start something and get it done at the same time and then move on to the next thing. And it's not like that anymore. I work a little bit on my slide decks, and then I'll work on a report, and then I'll edit some videos, and then I'll film some content. But rarely is it ever start and finish the same day. That's just something that I've had to get used to. It's definitely different than clinical practice and how I used to work, but so far it's working out. And it keeps things interesting, so that's good.
The wrong angle though. You gotta get my angle. No.
So don't talk.